Hi, you're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 84. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
I'm Jeff Barnhart, the Lovable Hillbilly.
Oh boy.
Howdy, y'all.
All right, so this is part two of our four-part, special spotlight on Charlton Comics. Our last episode we got on a big talk about Steve Ditko, and we've talked about Ditko quite a bit on this show in the past. And the impression I think a lot of people get of him is that he's kind of a weirdo, loner, outsider, and almost hermit-like, and not really so into folks. Okay,
right.
But I've been doing a lot of my research, reading up on Charlton, reading reminiscences about people, and actually, he even lived for a short time in Derby, Connecticut, which is where Charlton was based. And the people who worked with Ditko at Charlton was like, no, Steve was a really nice guy. He was generous and a fun person to be with. And Joe Gill, who's like, he said, we're different. We're not the same kind of guy, but, he was a nice guy and he was my friend. Because I think a lot of people have a hard time separating the hardline objectivist stance that Ditko has from just personality. They seem to think that dictates who he is, but apparently he's a real gentleman and a real friendly guy.
Yeah.
Even though he refused to do interviews, he doesn't do conventions or
I don't blame anybody for not doing interviews.
Well, the guy doesn't even want to be photographed, though. There are a handful of photographs exist of Steve Ditko. So all of those things
are all really old, from what I saw.
Yeah.
In the 40s.
Or the 60s.
The 60s, well, 50s, I think. He started in about 53,
That's about when his career started, I believe. Or maybe even earlier.
People look like they're in the 50s until about 65 or something.
Oh, I didn't mean his age of the 50s.
No, I'm talking about what people look like in photos.
Right.
So and
I was thinking of the decades, but
yeah.
But I think all those things kind of fed into the perception that Ditko was kind of like this really keeping people at arm's length type of guy, and that's not really it. He just is fiercely private. He wants his most current work to speak for himself, or his work period to speak for himself. And is not into all of the hullabaloo of fandom. He initially was very supportive of comic fandom, but he went to the very first New York Comic Con in 1965, 4 or 5, and that really changed his tune, the experience. He was like, he didn't like them being mobbed by fans and stuff like that. He didn't even go as a guest. He just showed up and didn't hide who he was. And it's unfortunate that thing happened, because I think the comics historians, the world, we would have a richer understanding of him and his contributions to comics, were he more forthcoming with reminiscences and things. Because, Steve Ditko casts a long shadow on the history of the medium, and it's, his body of work is incredibly impressive, and he's very prolific. But, gosh, it would be nice if we could get to know the person rather than just the philosophy. Because there's a difference there. And
I don't know. Some of the most harassable people you think would be really mean and nasty are really nice guys. And it's a shame you don't hear.
And some of the great talents in comics, for instance, are nasty people. John Byrne, what was I saying? Robert Conagher. Not nice men. Big egos, but great talent.
Oh, the guy who supposedly invented Batman.
Bob Kane?
Yeah.
That's another trip, but yeah, very snooty and really stuck on himself.
For no good reason.
Exactly. Bob Kane loved being Bob Kane. This is a tangent, but I'll tell it. He met Jim Steranko one time, young Jim Steranko, at some convention or whatever, and he's like, gives him one of those fake soft raps on the chin, like, keep at it, kid, or whatever like that. And I think Steranko punched him out or something like that, or just called him out and embarrassed him, And good for Jim, Steranko is quite a character, a really interesting guy. He's an escape artist too.
Wow.
He's really a jack of all trades. He's done a lot of things in his life, other than being
anybody being an escape artist unless they were in prison camp or something.
Well, he wasn't
Houdini,
he was inspired by Houdini, but But Steranko, yeah, he's done a lot of different things in his life, other than being one of the great comic book artists. So
yeah, we could probably do a show on Houdini's cultural influence on comic books. You know, he's kind of a superhero himself, and,
sure,
and his escapes kind of put himself in a box, thrown into an icy, cold water, and it looks like plots for 90% of all the movies.
Oh yeah, I mean, how much of Batman is all these wild escapes? You know, or Kirby's creation of Mr. Miracle. That's totally from Houdini. But anyway, we could go on and on about that. But we've got comics to talk about.
Yeah, so, Fighting 5.
Yeah, the Fightin' 5, number 29, and it's only their second issue. Charlton continued the numbering from some other book they discontinued. But yeah, the Fightin' 5, they're a crack team of, I don't know, special forces guys fighting commies all over the world. And so this is total Cold War stuff. And the lead story here is called The Aztec Destroyers. And it's written by Joe Gill, big surprise, with art penciled by Bill Montes and inked by Ernie Back.
Yeah, it's interesting. They have the credits are just their names with a block with a spot between them. It's,
right.
And I'm saying, is that a map or is that Mont Blanc or something like that?
Right. It's an interesting way to sign your name. Yeah.
All right, Aztec Destroyers. Okay, it's the there's a communist college of sabotage in Mexico. People don't know that Warner Pacific's name was originally Communist College of Sabotage.
Okay.
You want to go to that? Wouldn't that be great to have on your shirt?
That'd be kind of wild. For context, yes, we're recording in the library of Warner Pacific College right here in Portland, Oregon.
Every time we get a goofy college name, that's going to be Warner Pacific's original name.
Okay, even though it was Pacific Bible College.
Right.
But anyway.
Something else.
Was there something else in
maybe,
between?
I don't know.
I thought it was just those two. But anyway.
Not badly drawn. Pretty good faces.
I do like this. There's something cool going on here.
Okay, so the Communist College of Sabotage, which I love.
I'm glad you like it.
It's guarded by Aztec warriors.
Weren't they all wiped out?
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
Someone forgot to tell Joe Gill that.
Yeah. I don't know. There's some tribes still out there. I don't think the Aztecs. Aztecs were.
I'm thinking Mayans. Yeah, but yeah.
The Aztecs weren't killed all off. Cortez killed a bunch of them, and Cholera killed the rest of them, but not about 80-90%.
Sure, but I mean their culture was decimated. We're seeing them like basically living out like it's the 1500s still.
Exactly. So they send his Aztec warrior, dress him up like a sailor, and blows up a carrier, a nuclear carrier. It's kind of, it's always in the Batman or something. This is Batman. They would stop him, but here they blow it up, which is kind of cool.
Right? It's a bit different. Like, whoa, the bad guys really did some damage.
But they talk to they catch the saboteur, they catch him, and then they show him kindness, so he gets right thinking and tells him what's going on.
Yeah, what's the name of this? Is it Yuri, or what's the name of this villain who's the lead of
Lev.
Lev, and he's leading these commies. And so the Fightin' 5, they're like, all right, well, we got to track down Lev and can't keep him having blown up carriers.
Yeah.
Although I think we only see 4 of the Fightin' 5 in this story. Because there's a chick member of their team, and I'm not seeing her.
Right.
Sonya is the chick.
It's odd they have blue uniforms, which you wouldn't want to go out in the jungle with a blue uniform. And
no.
A lot of times in the war comics, they use blue for tanks and stuff like that. And it's kind of, I guess it's a cheap color, maybe?
Well, and you have to think, the 4-color process, you've got to have some contrasts as well. There are limitations, and, if everything is green, it just becomes a big blob. So let's give them blue uniforms or make the tanks blue instead of green when you guys have green uniforms, for instance. So
yeah. Oh, man. But, they go across the border, which wasn't easy because all the sharp-eyed border agent. Man, times have changed, haven't they?
Oh man, I'm not even gonna go there.
Okay. Oh, they get it. They sneak in. And one of them gets captured. And the guy says, "Judging from your physique, lack of fear, and amazing skill of combat, excuse me, I would judge you to be a member of the American military unit." I guess he never met anybody in my unit.
This is what I appreciate, your perspective on like military stuff, because you were in the army.
Yeah, it's really, that's a little over the top. I think even the stupidest soldier would go, because it's
right. It's clunky.
Yeah. Oh no, and they don't. They wouldn't believe it,
Right.
I'll get out of here,
Right.
But
I do. It's written to a certain audience, and the Fightin' Five are portrayed as these heroic American soldiers. Although one of them's a French guy, Frenchie.
Yeah. Or we take all kinds.
Yeah.
So they use wax bullets against the Aztecs, so they want to kill them. They want to kill the commies, not the Aztec warriors.
So I like they're making the distinction. These natives are being exploited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's this Aztec queen. Yeah. I'm not going to pronounce her name.
It's tough.
And this is the second part, the evil teacher.
Right.
So here they meet love. Yeah, they carried a bazooka and all kinds of stuff. It is a tremendous. The bazooka is a really big weapon.
Yeah.
And I didn't see that in their bag. You can't put it in your knapsack.
No. Yeah. Now, is the bazooka, is that a heavy piece of equipment?
Not really.
No?
It's just big and bulky. Right. It's just a tube where you put a rocket in and fire and try to kill a tank.
Yeah.
It usually doesn't work.
Right.
Oh.
So one of them, I can't remember which one it is.
I don't know. I get them mixed up.
They
I think it's Hank.
Yeah, Hank Hennessy, right?
Yeah.
He gets captured by the Aztec commies, and then he's going to be sacrificed. Of course.
Yeah.
So he's on the altar,
and he breaks these chains, and they're 10-century-old chains, and if they ever fail, the queen says, our freedom will be gotten from the evildoers.
So it happened to fulfill some prophecy by a coincidence.
Yeah. And
then, what is it? The Aztecs turn against the commies? Is that it?
Right. So they run to this statue, I guess a big bust, and it's gorgeous. It's wonderful Aztec carving. Really well done.
Yeah.
And
the art is good.
Yeah.
I gotta say. And I think the team of Montes and Bach, they did, at least in the 60s, they were doing other war books at Charlton as well.
So, Lev says, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot these rockets off and kill the world. But the world will die, but I will live. So, man. And he's going against orders, so...
Right. He's a commie gone rogue.
Yeah. That's the worst kind.
Right?
Yeah. So, there's these nuclear missiles... And, hey, let's knock them over and destroy them. Nuclear rockets, liquid fuel is extraordinarily corrosive and poisonous. You don't want to be around there. And here they are, just fumes coming out of it. And now, plus the fact you might be a spark, you might blow something up.
Yeah.
All right. And here's this goofball French guy. He sees conquistador armor, and he's going to put it on, and he's impervious to bullets.
Which is a load of crap, because bullets would totally pierce.
Yeah.
Especially these high-caliber machine guns would totally pierce old Spanish armor.
Some machine guns usually use pistol rounds. If the pistol rounds are... Now, military rounds are full metal, and then they'll pierce it like crap. So you're right.
Okay. But it's a comic book, remember?
So Hank falls in love with the Aztec queen, and they capture Love, and I guess they're going to torture the crap out of him.
Wow.
And I guess because they're going to hold up Hank and just hang him up and let him just for days.
Yeah.
And
Was that it?
That's about it.
Yeah, Hank falls for the Aztec girl, but then they split, so you know, so they don't.
Yeah. Got a ballistics article here, and it's kind of boring. So
okay.
All right.
So there's a one-page filler. It's called The Space Warriors, and it's with art by Bill Molno. Yeah, and it's kind of cool. It's like, hey, we're going to be fighting wars in space in our rocket packs, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, but of course it didn't happen.
It ain't over yet.
Right? But
we will. Yeah.
But it's a cool, like, kind of fantasy there.
Yeah, it is. I
like that. So, and then there's a...
They Made a Man.
Yeah, one more backup story called They Made a Man. And the art is by... Oh, also by Bill Molno. Probably written by Joe Gill.
Yeah.
But again, I couldn't find credits on comics.org. So yeah.
He's got beat jets. He's in Vietnam, and he's got... I don't know what beat jets are, but it makes him go up in the air.
Oh.
And they show him joining the army, becoming a parachutist, airborne, and fights and kills a bunch of Viet Cong. The end.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's only a 3-page story. That's what another thing about Charlton is we don't have any ad space. Get us a really like 1, 2, 3, 4-page filler, and those are really short. Like, yeah, and it's like that's almost like a propaganda. Like, hey, go join the army. You know, not even so much a story, but but whatever. So the next book that we've got is Geronimo Jones, number 7, and this is kind of Charlton's entry in kind of a minor trend in comics in the 70s, the weird Western. You know, DC had Jonah Hex and El Diablo, and those were Western characters that had, you know, supernatural overtones to their adventures sometimes. And this is Charlton's one of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is Salem, Massachusetts in the 1600s, ? Written by Tony Tallarico with art by Jose Delpo, who went on and did some fine work at DC Comics.
Yeah, it's Geronimo Jones. It's 1846, which is too soon for revolvers. The West only happened about, I don't know, 1850 to 1890 is only the Wild West what we think of.
Right.
And that's very short. And
yeah. So him having a revolver at this time is an anachronism.
Right.
Okay.
And Geronimo is they don't give any hints what's going to happen, but
yeah,
he sees some smoke and goes and he sees this old spooky house.
All right, he's riding the range, so you know, so yeah, because he's a cowboy or something.
But he looks like a hippie though.
Right. Well, you know, a lot of Wild West characters are kind of scruffy, and
yeah.
So anyway,
but I don't know, but he's not. He looks rock star scruffy.
Like 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, can we forgive it enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was making a point.
Okay.
So I'm not saying. Actually, his outfit's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, all right, he sees a house. His horse goes down a hill, and he throws him. The horse runs away. End of part 1.
This comic is a quick read, by the way.
Yeah. So here's this mysterious house in the middle of nowhere, and it's people screaming, and it comes on, it blows up in flame. He can't help anybody, so no one's gonna survive that. So he goes back to sleep.
This is our hero, ladies and gentlemen.
Having a fancy house like that is not in the middle of nowhere in the West. There was a house called Bent's Fort. There's a fort made, and in the middle of nowhere, about hundreds of miles from any other city. And they made this guy Bent made a fort, And you go in there and play billiards and had a bar and food and all kinds of stuff. And this is really weird. And then he lost money on it and then he burned it down. But
wow.
it was actually, the Mountaineers liked it. The Mountain Men, rather.
Rather.
So, I guess it's not, but it didn't look like that. It had walls to keep out the Red Man. So,
right.
Alright, so, he sees his, Geronimo Jones sees his horse again, gets it, and the horse doesn't want to go near this house. So, and then rocks fall on him, a huge boulder. He loses a horse again, and he comes inside, and it's about 20 monstrous-looking things going on.
Oh, yeah, we get this wonderful 2-page spread that's, I want to pin this to the wall, it's so cool looking. There's all just like these demons and devils and monsters all over the house. The house is haunted, I think.
Yeah, you think? I don't know.
Yeah. So he's like, I've entered the devil's inferno, and he's, I gotta get out of here.
He's trying to get out, and door's locked, and there's a skull on the door handle. That's kind of cool. I want one of those for my house.
All right.
So, all right.
He tries to shoot his way out, but you know you can't.
With the anachronistic 6 guns.
All right.
Then he gets knocked out somehow because the guns don't work.
Obviously.
Oh, there's Donny Osmond.
Oh yeah, and one of those 2-page, hey, buy a bunch of records for cheap, ads. So.
So now we have this hideous hag.
Yeah.
She's tied him up.
Yeah, this witch has got Geronimo captive.
Yeah. Apparently her people were killed in Salem.
Oh, okay.
And so he ties him. She ties him up. And this rat comes and chews the ropes and frees him. She sees that, comes out, tries to tie another rope. A rat comes, attacks her. She gets afraid. She knocks over her cauldron. Fire starts, and he wakes up, and this beautiful girl is helping him out. And his twins, a blonde and a redhead.
Huh.
And they disappear. And he goes to town. The end.
So the whole thing was, I guess, a dream or something?
No, I
or
think
a vision?
it's because it happened on Halloween. It's
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, what is that? Irish story about an Irish town that only appears once every.
Beats me.
years.
I don't know that story.
Oh, okay. Well, they remade it in 200 Maniacs, whatever like that.
2000 Maniacs.
2000 Maniacs.
Yeah.
Okay. Or is that the name of the band?
No, that's 10,000 Maniacs.
Oh, okay.
But 2000 Maniacs is a Herschel Gordon Lewis horror picture.
Right. So they made him. I forgot the name.
I don't know, man. The reference escapes me.
Yeah, it escaped me. I didn't think about it until right now.
Okay.
Oh, I looked it up. Oh, man, what a weird. No, he doesn't do anything.
Right.
The hero gets captured and then he escapes. And he loses his horse twice. Well, he loses his horse twice. He finally gets it back. So I guess it's a happy ending.
The plot is thin. I like some of this art, though. They're really cool looking monsters and stuff. And it's kind of interesting. I like the spooky Western angle.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Like a mystery of another time, another era. It's kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting ad. Help save the Beatles. The group has split, so please buy these films with an Argus viewer. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
So this is by some Super 8 films. This is some of the earliest home video. And you could buy like clips and things to run through your projector at home.
Yeah, but the Argus viewer doesn't need electricity. I don't know what in the world they did.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I saw this thing, I recently saw this thing that somebody came up with in I think, the 80s or the 70s. It was a microfilm viewer, and you could buy Golden Age comics on microfilm, on microfiche.
Interesting.
And I don't think it caught on, and I think that collection that was available would be quite a rarity. But you could project these onto the wall, or you could look through this viewer to read them. It was really interesting.
Microfilm blows.
Yeah.
It's hard to use.
We have it here in this library.
On a few places in Portland that does. And they use... in Portlandia, came to this library to film an episode because we had the viewer.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
I haven't seen that episode yet, but
neither have I. I need to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you want to talk about our next book?
Yeah.
All right. It's Hercules, number 9. And the lead story is Diomedes' Curse, written by Joe Gill, with art by Sam Glanzman. Sam Glanzman did a lot of war comics at Charlton. Charlton mostly didn't do recurring characters. These episodes that we're focusing on their recurring character work. Most everything they did was genre stuff.
I think that's a mistake.
Genre anthology stuff.
Characters, because you got to explain who this guy is, blah 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 blah.
Right.
Each time, and
but if you have recurring characters, you have to have editorial. Have more hands-on, and you also have all this continuity to try to remember.
Well, it's Charlton; they wouldn't have to care.
True. But anyway, a lot of things what they did were just anthology genres, horror comics or war comics or romance or westerns. But the ones that we're focusing on are really more ongoing character type stuff.
Yeah. This is interesting. They're using Greek mythology instead of Norse mythology,
right?
Thor does, and it's more complex.
Yes.
There's a lot more gods. There's only a few. 3 main gods we look at: Loki, Odin, and Thor.
Right. The other ones come into play, but not too much.
Yeah, and then there's other ones, but and there's some villains, but that's kind of easy keeping them apart. But
right.
Here we got let's see, Zeus and Mars. Oh, they said Mars, not Ares.
Yeah.
Mars is Latin, not and Hera and Poseidon and
Hephaestus is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Vulcan.
Oh, it's Vulcan. Excuse me. Yeah, because they're mixing up the Greco-Roman names.
Yeah.
Same cast, but they would have just had different names in those different societies.
A lot of the Roman names sound better. Hephaestus, I would be known as Vulcan instead of Hephaestus.
Right. And another one of the Charlton's short-lived action hero titles was the Son of Vulcan, and he was basically like that. He was kind of like Thor, only it's son of Vulcan, not Odin.
Yeah.
So, and he looked like a Roman centurion. That was pretty short-lived. So.
Okay. All right. Well, Hercules got to do the 12 Labors of Hercules to get this gal. I guess that's why he's doing it.
I think so.
Yeah. So he captures. Let's see.
The wild boar.
Wild boar and a bull, and that's a big boar.
Yeah.
It's about the size of an elephant. So Mars really hates him. So he tells what is this guy's name?
It's Diomedes, right?
No, this is
This is the
let's see, Mount Erymanthus. Oh, for crying out loud. Eurysthenes.
Oh,
Eurystheus. Oh, okay.
That guy.
Yeah. He's a milksop.
Yes, he is. Eurystheus or something like that? Okay.
So he sends him. Hercules scares him, so he says, go after the mayors, Diomedes. King Diomedes of Thrace.
That's right. And these mares, first of all, they have fangs and horns, and they eat human flesh.
Yay. Don't they all? At least the horses I've known seem to eat human flesh. They would want to. And Diomedes and Thrace is the biggest country in the world now.
Okay.
Not a bad drawings. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Lanceman's art is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Mars is mean. Is it? Awaken, stupid Poseidon. I need your help. He's another god. I wouldn't want to be calling him stupid.
Yeah, and also, why do you call somebody stupid if you're going to ask them for help or need them to do something for you? So.
Yeah, Mars ain't too bright.
Right. But anyway, Poseidon does what he says anyway and wakes up this sea serpent and attacks Hercules' ship.
Yeah, and Hercules does the old stick in the mouth business. Has anyone ever done that for real?
I don't know. I wonder where that originates. Because you see that play out in so many movies and books and comics. It's like, big monster, put a stick in its mouth.
Yeah.
Maybe it originates from the old Greek myth. I don't know.
Poseidon is happy that the sea dragon got killed, so which is cool for Poseidon.
Yeah. Because he didn't really want to harm Hercules.
Alright, but Mars forced him to. So I guess he is stupid.
Or maybe he brought up a challenge that he knew wasn't a match for Hercules.
Right.
Like, I'll do what you say, Mars. And just did this, and then he got Mars off his back, knowing Hercules could handle it.
Yeah.
So
Diomedes comes, and Hercules comes to Thrace, where they don't have any visitors. How are you going to do business that way? What is it, like North Korea?
I don't know. That's a good question.
So Hercules gets captured in chains. He does put up a fight. It's interesting. So Zeus is one to uses thunderbolts, but Hera says, "Oh, no, you don't." So, I was just cleaning these thunderbolts. He sends one by accident.
Right.
And Hercules hears that, "Hey, Zeus is still behind me, and now I'm good to go." So he breaks his chains, beats the crap out of all the Thracians.
Yeah.
And bashes Diomedes. Does he kill him or just knock him out?
I think he just knocks him out. I don't think he kills him.
Yeah. And so the people of Thrace, "Hey, can you kill those mares?" I said, "Sure thing." So he comes in, he just ties up the mare's mouth and brings him to Eurystheus.
Who is not pleased because he's scared of the horses.
Because he lets them go, so he goes...
Right.
So he wants them...
Because Hercules did the 12 labors, but he was teasing and egging on and like really making the guy nervous the whole time. I remember that in mythology.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, there's the hero Wang Go. It's a story, Chinese story, and he talks.
This is one of those text stories. Okay.
And I could not find about Wang Go, so they just made it up. But apparently Wang Go scares the Mongolians away, and he's actually not a robot, but a metal man. So that's that.
Okay.
Right.
So the backup, and this is really cool. It's actually, I think people regard this better than the main story of this book, the Hercules. And throughout this series, there's a backup called Thane of Bagarth, and I think the guy is like old Beowulf or like the son of Beowulf.
He's a member of the council with Beowulf.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, this is chapter 9 of that saga. It's called Freyholf, and it's written by Steve Skates with beautiful art by Jim Aparo, who would go on to be, for me, the definitive Batman artist, and without a doubt, the definitive Aquaman artist. Lots of great work at DC.
Yeah, really good combat scenes.
Yeah, it's kind of like, let's take Prince Valiant, but make it about Beowulf.
And that's another cool, mythology that would be interesting to go into. Except, I love Thor to death, but it would be interesting to see other mythologies.
Well, you have to think, when Thor came out, that was breaking the mold, because everything was about the Greco-Roman gods, if you did mythology, up to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's going on in this story?
Okay, so they're fighting against the Swedes, who are really evil.
Okay.
Looks like today.
Oh my gosh.
What's his name? Thane of Bagarth gets his butt kicked, and then his men run. And then we go to the world of 2147, where this guy is trying to look at the screen at him.
He's looking into the past. He's just watching this.
And he wants to go back in time, which is against the law.
Yeah.
So he goes back in time.
And his machine breaks, and so it traps him in the past.
Yeah. He's got to set up there, after a certain amount of time, he'll come back.
Right. And this is it's weird because we're getting like this is part 9 of an ongoing saga, and I don't know what's gone before.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that they were talking with the past and the far future, and the daughter of the guy who travels back in time and her boyfriend are like they have to now then figure out how to get him back or something. And that's kind of so. But he lands in the past, and so this will lead on into whatever.
Yeah, not a good plan.
No,
he doesn't even have a backpack of stuff.
No,
he's just going to go in his
right. And this guy is middle-aged, kind of paunchy. It's not like he's gonna just, and he's in the he's from the future, so he's soft, okay. And yeah, I don't think things are gonna go too well for him in the past. But I love the art; it's gorgeous. Jim Aparo is one of the greatest. So
there's letters to the editor, Hercules, and people really love the Thane of Bagarth.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and this is around the time the Charlton Action Hero line had been discontinued, and there's somebody mentioned in a letter, I really love those. But I can't find them anymore. Well, it's because they're discontinued.
And the letters for comic books is really important for the comic books.
Yeah,
it really tells the people what's going. The editor, is this a good idea to have this? And
well, right, and that was perfect forum and feedback for the time, and as for us to looking back as historians, it really tells us what fandom thought about these books. So, what they liked, what they didn't like. It's good. They're an important historical document. So our last book for this episode is it's an issue of Korg, 70,000 BC. This is number 3. Now this was a Hanna-Barbera live-action TV series. And the show was supposed to be no great shakes, but this is a well-liked and well-remembered series in comics. It's one of those things.
Although there's a DVD of the show, and people really liked it as a kid, so
sure.
I do not. It came out in '74. I do not remember it.
Yeah,
I watched TV during that.
Right, but it's one of those weird cases of like the thing, like something ephemeral to. Or an adaptation to the main thing becomes bigger than the other one. Like Rom Space Knight was a crappy toy from Barker Brothers that didn't really sell, but the comic book ran for 75 issues and was a minor hit for Marvel. So, but anyway, this was written and illustrated by Pat Boyette, the multi-talented guy, and this is cool. It's another caveman comic. We've read a few different caveman comics before.
Boy, haven't we?
Yeah.
And I just finished the Gene All novels.
Oh, really?
Planet of the Cave Bear.
Yeah.
And all that. If you want to read one of them, read the Mammoth Hunters, because it's got different people in there, and it's more interesting. But ones when she's alone, it's kind of boring.
Ayla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting how they did things and how they thought, and it's pretty cool.
I remember the movie Clan of the Cave Bear. That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was. Daryl Hannah.
Yeah. So yeah, what's going on with Korg and his family?
The glaciers are coming, so they got to move. These are really quick glaciers, it seems.
Yeah.
So all the animals are leaving. So the glaciers are coming, so they leave and they go towards the land of milk and honey, which is a biblical reference.
Oh yeah, that's the name of the lead story. I forgot to do it. But yeah, of course.
Which comes in page 3.
Right?
1, 2, 3. So,
yeah. Well, sometimes it's like the opening you do a cold opening sequence, and then like this is what this is going to be about.
But it's kind of odd to see that in Charlton,
Sure.
So
but again, Pat Boyette was kind of above and beyond a lot of other Charlton contributors, creators. So.
Avalanche.
Yeah.
They lose half of their party, so there's only about 3 people, and these Neanderthals attack. I guess they're Neanderthals. I don't know,
or troglodytes or something.
Yeah.
And
they break Korg's leg, but he beats him up. Is it Korg? Or
I think it's the other guy.
Oh, I had trouble telling people apart.
That's the trouble with cave people.
Mm-hmm. Because they have the same color hair. So.
Yeah.
So they're in the cave, and then it cracks up, and now they're on the ice floe.
Yeah.
And they go through the water, and they land, finally, they almost started up, they land on an island.
A lush green island. And then a big old, like, dinosaur lizard or something attacks them. They call it a demon. And boy, this is cool looking. It's red, four-legged, with a big long tongue. And this fight is really...
It's got a cool crest on his head.
Yeah.
Now, the monster was on... I saw the comic book cover.
Oh, you looked it up online?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad fight, but there's other people on the island. Yeah.
So yeah, there's plenty of food and stuff, and that's cool. But there's more advanced people, far more advanced, on the island.
They see this big, huge monument, and Stone Man.
Right.
So,
but Korg
has a girl, has a
wife.
mate,
yeah.
And she gets captured by this other culture, and the guy is a Samaritan.
Right.
Oh.
And so he's going to charge Korg with some task, and he's going to be able to bring his children back to him. This guy
going
says.
to the Mountain of Lights.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Well, maybe we don't have the next issue, but we do have another one that we'll look at in the future, so near future. And there's a one-page filler, also by Pat Boyette.
Elusive Man.
Yeah, and it's just kind of talking about speculative stuff about primitive man.
And Buffalo has a hole in its head, like a rifle. They probably, I don't know.
You need to explain this a little better.
Okay, there's a picture of a buffalo skull, and it's got a hole, and it looks like a buffalo, and it looks like a bullet hole. Well, there's got to be. I mean, they had slings back then and such.
Sure, but this whole page is talking about like mysteries of like early man, and in Russia they found an old buffalo skull from like an ancient time with what looked like a bullet hole, but obviously there were no firearms. So what caused that? So. I mean,
there's that guy in Thor Bandar.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. Then we get how it all began, a little bit of evolutionary stuff, pretty neat.
Yeah.
And
again, more just text stuff.
Okay.
And this is to qualify for a certain postal rate.
Really?
Yeah, that's why those text stories exist. There'll be 1 or 2 pages of text to qualify for whatever.
Here I was thinking they were really swell guys for giving us this information.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So okay. Yeah.
So what's up for next week?
Oh, you want to look at what we got for next week? It's going to be in a couple weeks. We'll come back and look at more Charlton. Mm-hmm. But we're going to have 2 episodes next week, just like we did this week. And here's what we have coming up.
Oh, Stan Lee presents My Love. Did I make a wrong choice?
That's right. My Love, number 37.
Oh, man. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Which is Nick Fury of Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 18. It's all reprints from Strange Tales.
Super awesome.
Yeah.
Beyond the Grave.
Yes.
Die Laughing.
Yes, to keep our Charlton fans, from chomping at the bit too hard, there's Beyond the Grave, number 2.
Superman. Who are these people?
We'll find out. Yeah, we got Superman number 223 and Superman number 224.
Oh, man, beware the super genius baby.
That is a great issue. It is wonderful.
Oh, man, looking forward to that.
And Blazing Six Guns, number 2.
Wow. Ride the Raging River. Meet Dallas Dollar, Jubal Slate, and the Captain.
Yes.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. So, that's what we've got going on for next week's episodes. Anything else you want to do? Sign off? Or
my sign off today is, and it's from Charlton. And somewhere out there in the solar system, there may be ancient worlds with incredibly intelligent creatures watching us and marveling at the dumb way we go about things.
Ain't it the truth?
Mm-hmm.